toxic masculinity.
Biden staffer physically blocks Ted Cruz from reporting on migrants.
Biden what?
Staffer. Biden staffer.
Stuffer.
That's what you wrote.
I believe it's staffer.
Staffer. What's the difference?
Well, I don't know what a stuffer is, but it sounds sexual. All right, so very inappropriate, darling. Very inappropriate. All right, so let me go ahead and read this. I'm sure you guys have all seen this video. It's gone viral. It's pretty crazy, but let's go ahead and play it for you if you haven't seen it already.
Your advisor, you were hired 2 weeks ago, and you're instructed to ask us.
Please respect. Please give dignity to the people. Please give dignity to the people.
So you work for the commissioner, your senior advisor. You were hired 2 weeks ago, and you're instructed to ask us to not have any pictures taken here.
Please respect the people.
Because the political
rules.
leadership at DHS does not want the American people to know it.
Please respect the rules,
You keep
sir.
standing in front of the pictures, so
Please
you don't want the
respect the
pictures
rules.
taken. The rules are arbitrary, and
Please
they're
respect
designed
the
to
rules
keep
and
the
give
American
the
people
people
in the dark.
dignity and respect. That's all we ask.
Well, no,
Dignity
it's
and
not.
respect.
You're asking, is this
Please-
dignity and respect? Look at
Please
these people.
give
There's
dignity
a
and
pandemic.
respect to the people.
Let me ask you,
you.
there's a
I
pandemic.
respectfully ask you, sir.
There is a pandemic.
With
Is this
full-hearted,
respecting the rights of
full-heartedly,
these kids?
I ask you. Please
Are you
respect
respecting the
people.
rights of these
This
kids?
is not a zoo, sir. Please don't treat the people.
You're right, and this is a
As such.
dangerous place.
Please don't treat the
And
people
your
like
policies,
this. That's all I ask for
unfortunately,
you,
are
sir.
trying to hide them. I understand
That's
you
all
were
I ask
instructed
you.
when 18
I
senators
ask you
came
to
down
please
here.
respect the people, give them dignity
I
and
respect them,
respect.
and I want to fix this situation.
We all want
and
to fix
the
this, sir. We
administration
don't
you're
want
working
this to
for is
happen
responsible for these conditions.
Please respect the people with dignity and
Okay.
respect,
And
sir.
I ask you to respect the people as well. This
I am
is not
respecting you.
respect.
I am respecting the
This
people.
is not respect.
You know what what else she needed to say?
Yeah.
I'm the boss.
I'm the boss. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, this could not be a more ironic,
Please respect the people. Please, can I stay less than 1 feet away from you?
Well, the way
Walking.
it's bizarre because obviously they're not treating these people with the utmost dignity. I mean, granted, so during the Trump administration, you had kind of similar kind of stuff going on, but you were dealing with far fewer people because the people weren't just coming up here in like these massive waves.
Yeah.
And so they could treat people with a lot more dignity and a lot more respect than they're currently dealing with them with, because there's just so many of them, and that's Biden's fault. So Biden is the one not treating them with dignity or respect, obviously. And then she's standing in front of, like, physically trying to obstruct Ted Cruz from videoing what's going on, reporting to the American people what's going on. And she's saying that he's not treating them with dignity. You're not treating Ted Cruz with dignity or respect. You're standing there, you're totally disrespectful. The man is a very prominent representative of the American people. You are what? You're just some chick that was hired to, have this sort of partisan interference. But instead of asking him politely, you're standing in front of the camera. Totally disrespectful. 1. 2, these people who are being brought up here are being treated with disrespect. Because, okay, you know how disrespectful it is to create a scenario in which little girls are given the morning after pill and told when they go on this journey they will be raped? It's like 80% of the girls who try to immigrate into the United States illegally, 80% of them are raped. 80% of them. This is not a respectful way of treating people. I can't. Come on, like, who's being disrespectful here? And what really pisses me off, and it really does piss me off, is that you got this group of Democrats sitting around thinking, and they're sitting there trying to figure out what language they need to use to make it sound like the Republicans are the bad guys, right? So sitting there, they're going, okay, well, obviously this looks bad. Obviously we have all these people, in these cells,
You mean burritos?
Huh?
You mean burritos?
Yeah, they look like Chipotle burritos, or baked potatoes covered in tin foil. And they're all kind of stuffed in these plastic cells.
There is no space between them.
Yeah, there's no space between them. It looks terrible. It looks dirty. It looks unpleasant. Oh, which, by the way, I bought these the Mylar blankets that they're sleeping under, because I want to sleep in this for one night, and on the ground here, and we'll see how they are. I'll go ahead and film it, and I'll tell you guys what I think. That'll probably go on a Mr. Reagan channel. But anyway, so you got you got all these people. They're treated very inhumanely because there's just so many of them coming over, and so obviously there's going to be reporters eventually going to get hold of the footage, right? We saw what happened with Project Veritas. We saw what happened when I think it was a Democrat senator or something leaked some photos took some photos and leaked it to the press. And so, they had this sort of crisis thing, that happened at the White House, where they said, okay, what are we going to say? Because they have these people who all they do is they figure out how to manipulate language to make the Democrats sound good and the Republicans sound bad. And I think there's probably people in the Republican Party that do this as well, but definitely not as many. And if we do, they're not that good at it. And I think the problem is, and I've mentioned this before, is that Republicans care about the truth and Democrats care about the message. And you hear this all the time. In fact, you hear Democrats talking about that, where they'll say, the facts are important, but what's really important is the message, because people need a story, because that's what people care about. And they know that, and they use that to manipulate people. It's terrible. So they get these little groups together, and they come up with just the right language. And they say, what we have to say is that taking photos of these people in this bad condition that they're in, that we put them in, taking photos of them or taking video of them in that bad scenario that we put them in, that's disrespectful, right? It's like, I punched this guy in the face, he's bleeding, he's crying, he's like lying on the ground asking for his mom. It's a pathetic sight. Maybe he pees himself, because I hit him so hard, and some guy's videotaping it, because it's obviously an outrageous thing that just fucking happened. That just happened, sorry, because I punched the guy in the face. And the guy, and then people are like, and then I get in front of him and I say, no, don't film him. That's very disrespectful. He's suffering. Can't you see he's suffering? Why would you disrespect him by taking a video of that right now? That's terrible. After I punched him in the face, he peed himself, and you're videotaping that. You're a horrible person for reporting on this. Ted Cruz is just reporting on the disrespect that the Biden administration has shown for these people, and Ted Cruz is being called disrespectful? Oh, F off, woman. She just pisses me off. That's why I'm swearing. I'm pissed off at this woman. But so you get all these people, and they're sitting around, they're like, okay, what we'll say is they're the disrespectful ones for getting footage of it. They're the disrespect. That's the message that we're going to send. And then also, we can say that filming these people in these plastic cells that we've put them in, all cramped together with their Mylar sheets or whatever, thermal blankets, whatever they are, we'll say that they're not animals in a zoo. They're not animals in a zoo. That's great. Oh, that's great. I love that. Oh, who thought of that? Oh, you're a genius. You get a raise. High fives all around. That's what they're doing. That's what they're out there in DC doing. They're having these little meetings where they come up with the best language to make Republicans look bad. And then they get this girl in and they say, okay, you stop anybody trying to film. You stop anybody trying to film, and you use this language. You say they're being disrespectful, and you say these people are not animals in a cage. This is not a zoo. You use language like that, and then that'll make the people shooting the video look bad, and it'll make people sympathetic to the Democrats and to the Biden administration. So that's what they're doing, and that's why I wanted to cover this story, is just to kind of give an insight into how I think these degenerates in D.C. manipulate the message. They manipulate language to manipulate the people of America. Darling.
Yes.
Do you have anything to add?
What can I add?
I don't know. Ashley wrote something. I'm trying to look here. It's like getting mad at reporters for filming Antifa while they're burning down cities. Yeah, this is what Antifa used to do, right? Antifa would used to commit crimes, and then our buddy Elijah would go out there and he would film them, And in fact, I think there was a Democrat politician in like Minnesota or something like that who ended up getting the crap beaten out of him by Antifa, because he was filming Antifa, and they just like rushed him and like beat the crap out of him. I can't remember who it was. It was a long time ago, but yeah, that was a pretty crazy story. And that's what would happen. Antifa would like beat up anybody who was trying to film them because they didn't want anybody catching their crimes and then sending them to jail. This is before that we had the mask mandate and COVID and everything, and like some people Antifa didn't wear masks. But yeah, so that's a good analogy. And so basically the left has taken the tactics of Antifa. The Biden administration are now using the tactics of Antifa to try to discourage people from reporting on the migrant crisis. It's ridiculous. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
next time is she gonna punch him in the face or what?
You mean the chick that was trying to stop Ted Cruz from videotaping? Yeah, I'm sure she probably will want to if she doesn't actually try. All right, do you want to read the next story?
Yeah. Psyche says you can travel, but only if you are rich. What?
Yeah, did you not hear this? So this
No.
is a video that I'm going to be playing here from the Blaze, but it's really just a raw clip of the press conference. But it was this is pretty crazy. Yeah, she's asked why Biden keeps telling everybody don't travel, but then he's traveling all over the country. So doesn't that send a mixed message? And she's like, well, he can travel because he's rich. Watch, you'll see. You'll see. It's pretty funny. Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.